Okay.
Yep, go ahead and do it.
So I donated to this One Piece podcast. It's called One Piece Talk. Shout out to them. They're very entertaining. I've gotten hours of entertainment from them over the past couple of weeks or so. I got really into them recently. But so I decided to send them a super chat, ask them the question, and I I was very disappointed with the downplay. So I just wanted to play this clip, and then it's gonna be the subject of the
Dave,
podcast.
I feel they need to know the blender. This is a staggering blender here.
Okay, here we go.
Staggering.
Now I don't know what happened.
You're at David Terlecki. David Terlecki.
David Charlecki.
200. It should be red on your screen.
We didn't get the calls.
For,
Yeah,
for
Version of
goddamn
Usopp.
they took me
200.
out of that. Like I don't know what happened.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so it says what version of Usopp became able to solo the East Blue?
Okay.
So they
Well,
can they hear you?
well then.
Yeah.
Okay. So what version of Usopp can solo the East Blue?
Or became able.
Became
to solo the East
able.
So you're saying about all Luffy's opponents.
Okay, so to clarify, that was what I was going for, but I meant at once. Originally, I meant all of Luffy's opponents at once.
Hmm.
And cause this is more of a temperature check to see like how much Usopp hate there is. Uh, so, yeah.
You're talking about Luffy's and his crew's opponents?
I'm not sure.
That did happen.
So the last previous spring, so at East Blue, solo is. And we just taking Luffy's opponents because all East Blue is crazy.
Yeah.
And now this is where the subject of this is going to be, because the thing is, I was being nice when I originally meant all of Luffy's opponents at once. Now we're gonna get into this. Now I'm going to put my foot down. Yes, by current One Piece, there is no logical way that you cannot say that Usopp can solo every person that they fight in East Blue except Mihawk. Would take him out. He's obviously a raid boss you're not supposed to ever be able to beat when he shows up. But everyone else, of all the people that Luffy's crew fights, Usopp can fight at once and beat. And that is going to be the premise of this after we go through the whole clip.
Right? But even like I don't think Usopp's. Do you think he's getting past Arlong?
I think he got Kuro, possibly.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'll give him Kuro. Oh, his speed though.
I was thinking because also I think people argue can he even be buggy, and that's Luffy's like.
I'm
Bruh,
trying to
come
think
on
right now, like
they're doing
who
dirty.
was right now? Because all right, we got post time skip Usopp. Where's Usopp's one-on-one or strongest person he battled against?
Paul Thompson?
Yeah,
Honestly,
and
it's-
the,
that's bad because
yeah, he hasn't really fought anybody.
It's the Fishman guy, and I think he actually
At Fishman Island, right?
Yeah, because he fought. He didn't really fight anybody in Jetro, so Orpunk has it. He only his first one's only. Dang, then how much stronger did he actually even get? Because he's not really just fighting scrubs and just fighting one person at Fishman Island, but the rest of the whole arc, even all the way to Wano, you didn't really fight anybody. You didn't have one-on-one.
Whoa, we
know
just
he didn't
forgetting
beat one.
Sugar exists. Oh yeah, that's her fucking name on Dressrosa, right? Sugar, her fucking little
Yeah.
punk ass.
He 2v1 Sugar and the guy that had a lot of snot. I forgot what his power was, but yeah, he 2v1 them
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he fought that bitch. He did a little more than nothing from then to Wano. Just saying.
Yeah, no, he was. Him and Nami were. Yeah, they would have passed if it wasn't for situations. Oh, to me, I think does he even? All right, real quick, does he get past Don Krieg? Because to say that Usopp right now doesn't take out any of Luffy's opponents, to me that also sounds crazy.
Maybe I'll beat him.
Well, right now he needs hockey because things just slide right off him.
You might say East Blue. She's
He,
she was big girl when she.
no, but she was also remember she shortly after she ate.
Yeah, but they went to Logtown.
Yeah, that's East Blue.
Is that East Blue?
That's because that's Golden entering to the Grand Line.
If you're adding Smoker, bro, stop. Because
Cap, if you don't think Usopp can beat Smoker, you're crazy.
Full cap. I'm sorry. He's got something in.
He's
He's got something in
East
that
Blue?
little pouch for that. I'm sorry.
East Blue Smoker? this is not even. We can't even give him Marine Force scaling. We can't give him
He has no hockey at that
Punk
point.
Hazard
He
scaling.
has Sea Prism Stone and his fruit, and that's about it.
And I'll go over to this after the clip, Mike. But I don't think he needs anything in his bag to interact with Smoker. Like,
We're
he
getting
should.
fancy.
He should. I'll go over that afterward. Like, there's no reason he shouldn't, but we don't know.
Because
No.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because that's part of East Blue. Honestly, again, it's questionable if he can even beat Buggy.
That sounds crazy though, because Buggy was.
Not be able to even thinking that her and Usopp can't beat East Blue Buggy.
If you think he can beat Arlong in East Blue, he can beat Buggy in East Blue. Just period. If you think he can fucking cap Arlong, which I do, he
gets
Buggy.
Buggy gets major prison buffs. He actually ends up attacking relative to base Luffy during the prison break. But East Blue Buggy is nothing. He's nothing.
I
The
might
second
give you
opponent.
Buggy I mean, it's the same Buggy.
He can not because Buggy gets hit by blunt attacks, so he's not gonna be chopping him up. A plant thing, he takes Buggy like no. I believe he can, because like his plants could eat him, you know, or wrap him up.
But he gets, Buggy
and
gets
Buggy
separated from
takes.
body,
But Buggy gets hit with physical damage.
Yeah.
So I believe Usopp takes Buggy. Kuro is like, to me, I feel like Usopp's smart enough to hinder his speed.
He doesn't need to be smart enough to hinder his speed.
I think he can just fucking hit his ass.
Yes.
Like, I think his observation is way good enough to hit his ass.
He doesn't need observation to hit him. I'll go over that in my scaling. Okay.
He's going full tilt.
I'm going to go over that later. But yes, even if you don't accept any of my scaling today, okay, if you just look at him, you just go, you're just wrong. Even if you say that, you're right. The boy has some of the best observation. We're not talking future sight. We're not talking any of the other like branches of observation, right? Observation. He's got some of the best in the series. It's between him and like 3 other characters. It's insane, and he's fighting people that have no hockey. So,
Well, he can be if he can, I don't think he can keep up with it, but
he can absolutely keep up with it.
remember Kuro can't control it either.
That's true.
You know, so all Usopp has to do is have it. One of the things that's able to stop the speed, which I think he does. You know.
We actually have already seen how he deals with people faster than him in the Luffy Usopp fight. He can put down a bunch of shurikens on the ground, and since Kuro has 0 skill when it comes to using speed at the point of blue in the story, he's not going to be able to use the speed at all, even if we grant you that Kuro is faster than...
So Days giving him
Usopp.
Days like Caltrops got this.
I mean, they used Caltrops in that arc,
It's true.
if you remember, to deal with the fodder.
Because also too, if he puts that same energy that he fought Luffy, even though it was Luffy, I think he can take it.
And the same energy he's fighting this Garza right now?
Yeah. So I believe Usopp will take Kuro. Arlong.
I think he has something to penetrate his armor.
What? Oh, Don Krieg?
Yeah.
He does not need to penetrate his armor. He absolutely can penetrate his armor. But, see, that's the great thing about being the sniper, is you get to choose where you hit. And Don Krieg does not have a helmet. That boy getting killed.
Hit him in the face.
He's going to hit him right in the face. That's what's
Hit
going
him
to
in the
happen.
face.
He's going to one-tap him. Don Krieg
Days
has
like that boy
no...
Cap.
He has
folded.
no... Bro, he
Get
has
folded.
no... he has no durability feats that put him on the level of Usopp. Point blank. He's getting one shot. He's getting one
Straight
tap.
up.
He's getting one tap from a bomb hit him in the face. That's
Body
what's happening.
that man, then bring the body back.
That's it.
Don't come
It's
back.
not a fair
Get no
fight.
body.
There's a reason why we wanted them to talk about Usopp versus all of Luffy's opponents in the East Blue at the start, okay? Because I'm like, okay, obviously he beats all of East Blue if we go Wano. I don't even want to talk about that. At what point does he beat Luffy's opponents? That's what I thought was an interesting discussion. You want to go in his lobby? You want to go all into the time skip? I can see people arguing that to beat all of his opponents.
Nah.
But
He
to
gonna
beat
whoop
any
somebody.
single one of them, if you think he needs to get to the time skip to beat his opponents,
Dude.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
There's one person. There's at least one. At least one.
No.
No,
Usopp
I'm
beats
talking.
all of East Blue.
He might. I think so. I
Yeah.
don't see why that's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Mhm.
They understand that. That's what we talked about.
Mhm.
I would think so. Don Krieg, he was heavily relying on his weapons.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, he
Usopp
would.
could take that. I think Usopp could take that.
He could
And
probably. That'd be a
Arlong.
fair fight.
Um,
I mean, how much big of an explosion of power does
well,
Usopp
yeah,
have?
because the ones that he fought on Fishman Island, they took the steroids too, right?
Okay. And I do want to say this. They're shooting from the hip. Okay. They're just getting this question now, and they're just kind of brainstorming. So I want to make sure I want to put this out here. No hate. I clearly donated to the podcast because I value their opinion. I value their input. They're very entertaining people. And they seem like chill people. So just putting it out there. But yes, if they ever do go back and look at Usopp's arsenal, they're gonna realize that it's silly that they're thinking that Usopp might have something to take out Arlong. Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, the one that Usopp fought.
No.
No?
Only Hody and the swordsman guy. Nobody else. To my
sure?
knowledge. To my knowledge.
Because all of them were popping them. I remember them popping them.
Yeah.
Because they're taking the steroids, and I think he could take Arlong. So if you're going by all of East Blue to just like Luffy opponents, I believe Usopp could take him now. Thinking about it, because I'm pretty sure the fishermen were popping the steroids just like Hody was, like some of them, right? It's gonna be because Usopp hasn't gotten a power up since the time skip, right?
Only the training.
Yeah, only
And the food that's.
Now, for the record, he says only the training. The only thing that's different between Luffy between the pre-time skip and the post-time skip is training. Now, I will say this: he did get Haki over the training, but don't downplay training. Training is actually the most effective power in One Piece.
Well, fucking Usopp's training was different though. He also got an entire island to exploit for new fucking ideas. I mean, you're already forgetting before the time skip his Soga King Zenkai boost.
Right.
Well, he
I'm
already
about to show you.
was already getting really good by that point. Like
By that point,
I'm
yeah.
gonna show you a feat this boy pulls off with Soga King, bro.
Right.
Okay.
Like no, he
He's
had.
that sign.
Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Usopp got moves. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
You do. He's
Yeah.
the Batman of One Piece.
it's true.
yeah.
Just giving him.
So I think at post time skip, it'll be better for him, like further on the line because what he's experiencing. But also Usopp been kind of showing he's still kind of a coward.
But his durability gotten better because he got hit in the head by OT twice, and that was hockey. And he was still able to, like, kind of get up.
Yeah. So I'll say Usopp pre-time skip could be just East Blue. I don't think he's touching Grand Line.
And I think it's just the captain. I'm not saying he's taking out the whole Fisher Pirates, the Kuro Pirates, the Don Creek all by himself like that.
Like one man army versus whatnot. But one-on-ones against them, Usopp could take it.
As a sniper, I think he can cap.
I gotta go back to look to see his.
I think he has the ability to cap armors.
Okay. So what he just said there at the end was we might have to go back and look at it, but they lowballed the hell out of Usopp with the way they broke things down. So what we're gonna be doing, my standard for convincing Mike isn't going to be that he beats Luffy's opponents anymore because they've already at least agreed to that incredible low bar, at least by current Wano. So now, my argumentation is going to be trying to convince you guys that Usopp beats each crew by himself, and then I'm going to argue that he beats all their crews together. That is going to be what my argumentation is for today. Okay?
Let him cook.
That is the standard. So I got receipts. So while I'm going through,
Go ahead and let them know.
Yeah, what I'm doing here, this is it. Okay, what we're doing. Okay, so we're gonna see this kind of. I'm just gonna go over some tanking feats. I don't know. Whatever I have is what I have listed. But right here, what I have listed is that Usopp. I'm gonna mute them to try not to get us copyright striked. Oh, wait, it's not showing up on the stream. Oh, now it is. Okay, good. Usopp takes an off-guard attack. Now, I hope I don't have to go through the scaling chain to establish that this guy is stronger than any East Blue opponent. Do I have to convince you of that, Mike?
No.
The Wolf? Okay.
Nah, he's pretty solid.
Okay, so what's happening here is that he's telling him about the key, and he's gonna offer Usopp the key, right? He's gonna throw it on the ground. I'm not gonna maximize it to try to stop us from getting copyright strike 2. I'll just pause right now, give it a little scribble. So he's gonna pick up the key, and then he's gonna use a named attack. A hockey attack, we find out later on. He's gonna get him bleeding. Okay. So now you might think, wow, why are you pulling this off as a feat? The thing about this is Usopp's still able to move around after this. Okay? Like he's down for now, but in a couple of seconds you're gonna see that he's gonna be able to get up, and he's gonna keep it pushing. This is why I want people to understand. Just because you see Usopp getting really damaged, 95% of this boy's health bar is the red, okay? When
he does best in the red zone.
Yes, 95% of his HP is in the red, so you're going to see his nose get broken, you're going to see him bleeding, but he's going to keep it pushing, okay? He's up again, he's talking his shit, and he's going to keep attacking. So he's up, and obviously his attack doesn't do anything.
Now, let me help you out here a little bit, Dave. Not to mention, this is also after being injured before by Frankie after the whole Water 7 incident.
Not by Frankie, by his crew, but yes. Yes. And people will play that as downplay, but here's the thing. There's no anti-feat for them being stronger than Arlong. Each individual person there can be stronger than Arlong, and you can't prove me wrong. The fact they're able to damage
Well, first of all, they're already on the Grand Line, so...
Yeah, exactly. And we already have precedents that fodder can be stronger than people earlier in the show. So, for example... Amazon Lily, every individual person in Amazon Lily can probably soul the East Blue. The people that we're talking about, because they have hockey. All of them do.
It's like a Wano scrub. A Wano scrub could walk most of the motherfuckers from early arcs.
Right. So he's going to get speed boost a little bit here.
Oh yeah, the power scaling, when you look back at like early episodes, is crazy.
Right. And now he tanks all of this. Okay, tank is a generous word. He takes all this damage and he doesn't die. That's what I should say. Causes a shockwave.
I mean that's basically what tanking is. You took all the damage.
People call tanking like you no-selled it. So I just want to clarify.
No, that's more like a juggernaut style. But yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. Some people use it that way. Yeah. So that last strike he hit so hard, it caused Nami to fall, and that might not sound like nothing, but Nami's got her own skill, and that's been happening throughout the whole show. So, she's not the same Nami that you see in East Blue either.
Oh, he's cooking.
Now he's done, okay? He's out of this fight right now. Sanji's gonna save him, okay? But, after Sanji saves him, he's up and moving again, in a little bit. And then, as you can see, after this flashback, he's up, okay? So, he was down for a bit, and then he was fine. And that was someone much stronger than Arlong. Much, much, much stronger than Arlong, okay? So Zoro's going to be able to use Usopp as a sword here. He's been doing this the entire show. Now, luckily I know Mike is a logical person. Everyone knows here that falling doesn't kill you. It's the stopping. And I hope I don't have to prove that Zoro can swing his sword faster than terminal velocity. I guess you can try to put that on me, but the speed that these guys are attacking, he's swinging faster than terminal velocity. Way faster. So earlier in the episode, he was doing a whole bunch of attacking and blocking techniques with Usopp as his arm, and Usopp basically all he says is he's getting dizzy. He's getting a stomachache. So there you go. He's about to do a named attack. So I'm going to stiff up at his back. And there you go. Usopp survives the actual arm generation of doing a named attack on him. And his back does not change posture, and he holds on to the sword the entire time. That's what we call grip strength. Okay?
That's realistic. That's what you call full body strength.
Yes. Yes, it
Because he
is.
had to
There
hold
we go.
himself stiff the entire time.
Yeah, while they're fighting too, and this one I have listed at 1344. Okay. Now, if you thought that grip strength was impressive here, watch this. So they do a bunch of attacks. Usopp never lets go of of the sword there. Zoro did that. He waggled his hand. He never let it go. All right, this is we're going further back on the show because I posted them as I watched them, obviously. But this is okay. This is a fresher Usopp. These are fresher fighters. Watch what this boy Zoro is about to do. Zoro's going in for an attack. This is just as we've seen before. What Usopp can handle. This is just him being scared. This is not him not having the strength for it. Okay. And also, if anyone's like, yo, this grip strength shit doesn't matter, if you remember correctly, later into one of the episodes, he actually does drop the sword because of the giraffe's attack at one point. So Oda was thinking about the grip strength of Usopp this whole time. He gets attacked. He's not dead. He's just a little stunned. Watch this Zoro attack here. Bashes. He went full tilt. A Zoro strike. Full tilt. And Zoro bashed him into the ground. And then he takes another attack. He's also just momentarily stunned. And like Mike said, every one of these feats is post
Post ass
Frankie's
whooping.
boys beat up. Post
Post
yeah,
ass
he's still got.
whooping, yeah.
He's still
and
about.
post Luffy fight too.
Yes.
Not much happened, but still, you know what I mean.
Right.
And post train fight.
Yep. Here we go. Okay, as you can see here, Zoro and this is both a feat for both of them. They had just been handcuffed recently. They never had a hard time running together this whole time. So their synchronization of adapting to the situation, top tier. Normally you'd have people having to adapt to this situation. And importantly, you're going to have to take my word for it because I'm not going to unmute it. But Zoro never complains about running slowly. Usopp only complains about his stamina, about how he's running out of energy, but never about the speed that Zoro's running too fast for him. And Oda has stated that if you take away all abilities, that Usopp would win a foot race between all the Straw Hats. So as you can see, they're running side by side together, so their travel should be comparable. And then these two both attack. These two should be way stronger than anyone in East Blue. And then they both dodge it. Now, you can figure this out in one of two ways, and they're both impressive for Usopp. Either A, Usopp and Zoro simultaneously realized that the attack was happening, both jumped in unison. Pretty good. Or you can say that Zoro noticed it first, and then noticed that before Zoro made a motion to jump, he matched him perfectly. Either way, we're either talking about reaction time, about realizing there's an attack coming from behind him, or that Zoro was going to make a movement, and without communicating, both dodged it. Either way, this is a million times better than anyone can do in the East Blue. And then we're going to the 18-minute mark here for a second.
So.
Telling you, man, downplay is crazy. Okay, so here, and this is an important thing, even if you don't think Usopp can one-tap everyone in the East Blue, what happens here is that Usopp is able to get these two at each other's necks for a while to buy himself time. And if Zoro didn't give away the plan, those two were absolutely going to fight. They admit it themselves. And then even when they know the game is up, that's being had, Usopp's able to get them kind of like stalling for time again because they want to resolve the conflict that they put between them. So even if you think that Usopp can't one-tap everyone in the East Blue, which he absolutely can, there's no way that the crews are going to be operating at top efficiency considering that Usopp is a master shit talker and very rarely fails. The only person he's failed to goad is Anel, and I hope we have to all agree that failing to goad Anel into making a mistake that's not an anti-feat. Regular fodder is going to fall for this. Everyone in the East Blue is going to fall for this. They're all very prideful, all very arrogant, and are 100% open for this kind of a tactic. And where this is not a what-if kind of situation, Usopp absolutely uses these tactics in his fights routinely. So there's that. Okay, well, I guess you can just I'll just jog your memory. I'll watch it and just jog your memory because you're just take my word for it, I guess. So there was a moment in episode 114 where Usopp and Chopper are fighting Mr. Four and I don't remember her name, the mole woman. And at 427, he dodges the actual shot of the dog, like shooting the balls.
Right.
The mole woman asks the Mr. Four to do his 400 swing technique. Okay, show off your 400 swing punk knocks. That's what it's translated as. So basically, based off of the name, if you want to call me on that, then whatever. But I just think that Oda didn't want to show exactly 400 balls in frame. But there's a lot of balls that the dog decides to shoot. They go past Chopper. And then Mr. Ford proceeds to Gappo step and hit all of them. Now, they don't show him hitting all 400 of them, but it's called a 400 swing. So the implication of this is that he's hitting each individual ball, or maybe some at a time, but they use the exact same speed animation that they do in Dragon Ball Z. You know, like the blinky, the line thing.
Yeah, blink or a flash.
Yeah. So the assumption is that he's done this 400 times. So we're talking about a character who has a level speed that's probably already rivaling Kuro, at least based off of visuals, and he has a way higher level mastery than Kuro does. So we're already talking about a character. Usopp's already beaten someone pre-time skip that should be able to beat Kuro. Okay, he's already beaten him. We find out at 18 minutes into episode 113 that each one of those baseball mics weighs as much as a wrecking ball. So Mr. Four is swinging a 4-ton bat and hitting wrecking balls as if they were normal baseballs. And Usopp, all the way back in Alabasta, took that attack head on, the bat, right to his face. And it's not like he just took it right to the face. The moment was actually running him into Mr. Four. But also in Thriller Bark, he took a punch from Oars, the red giant guy. He got crushed into a wall, and he got up like nothing happened. There's no blood or anything. This is after his fight with the ghost chick, after he got heavily damaged from her. He did that. He also was able to damage Oars with fire. I know zombies are weak to fire, but let's be real. That's still part of your attack potency. The fact that you're able to affect anyone on his scale is insane. So he's absolutely got the attack power. And then, I think, oh good. In that fight with Arlong, that I could chop a building in half because of my teeth, right?
Right.
Or a wall. And then Luffy was able to just punch the building.
Yeah.
And then that was to show that they're kind of like peers with each other in terms of strength. So narratively, what they're kind of implying here is that you need to be at least a wall level opponent in order to hurt. Not necessarily knock out in one hit, Arlong, but you need to be wall level. Oh yeah. Oh, this feat's insane. So this Luffy, this is post Skypiea.
Yeah.
Look at this precision that Usopp has right here. Attacks his fist through a Gatling gun. And I don't want to hear that he missed. Usopp, don't miss.
No, he did that.
He tagged that fist. He perceived those fists and tagged it. Now, if you want to call it timing, fine. But guess what? If you could time Luffy's Gatling gun, he could time anyone in the East Blue. No reason not to think so. Luffy's much faster than anyone in the East Blue at this point. He's had to be in order to even compete with Crocodile.
Or
This is
no.
Crocodile. Or no, yes. Where? Bro, where do they put
Matter of fact,
the...
the fact didn't he get hit by a nail on fucking Skypiea? The fact that he just isn't flat out dead from that. Is
Yeah,
insane.
Anel took out everyone and took out the whole crew except Nami.
Mm-hmm.
Nami was
Nami and
playing both
technically
sides.
Luffy. Luffy got taken out by other means, but it's clear that we're saying that Usopp's getting undersold here, doing the bogus. He's got to look at scaling in different ways. There's so much there to comb through with One Piece. You can't just scale it off of winning in fights alone. You gotta scale it off certain moves and actions in fights.
And their battle intelligence, which, okay, here's something I will say. All right, there are very few other characters that are even comparable to Usopp when it comes to benefiting from equalizing stats. If we're equalizing stats, Usopp almost always comes out on top as far as like benefiting him. Luffy has to get stronger in order to beat people. Usopp never does. He just beats people as he is. He just digs deep and finds a way because he's smart. So basically, if you remember the way the fight ends between Mr. Four and Usopp is that Usopp does the whole thing where the mole woman's kidding him toward Mr. Four, right? He smoke screens Mr. Four, so he's already hitting people that are way faster than him. If you don't want to buy my scaling, he's absolutely as fast as Kuro. If he's not that fast, then I don't know what the point of that effect was. But visually, he's as fast as, or at least more skilled with his movement. Oh, I forgot to say this. Mr. Four, when he was winding up his bat, just like warming up,
Yeah.
without hitting a pillar, he cracked a pillar. It was like meters away from him.
Yup.
Power.
Yeah, that's the kind of person we're looking at here. And then basically what happens is after that is that Usopp puts his slingshots around Chopper's antlers, brings his hammer back, and hits Mr. Four, and then Mr. Four gets sent flying and then goes through a wall. So that whole thing about Luffy breaking a wall and then putting him on a narrative level, being on the same like tier as Arlong, he has a more impressive feat because there's energy loss, as you know, Mike. There's energy loss because he has to go through the person, then the person tastes that force, and then they're sent flying. So there's
There was enough
the
leftover force to eject him through.
right, even after all that,
So the total sum of the equation is more than just
right.
flat
Than
out.
that casual feat that Luffy was doing, and this is all the back at Alabasta. Okay, so now I feel like Do you feel like by feats he's above everyone in East Blue pre-time skip at this point? Do I have to dig deeper?
I mean, to be fair, he's already seeming like he's above him because the East Blue just doesn't have much in the way of anything.
Anything? Yes.
The only people they got are like, you got a smoker, and you can find ways to deal with smokers punk ass.
Right. So I will deal with Smoker in a second. Now I just want to. So do you buy that he can one tap everyone in the East Blue with the arsenal he gets by Wano at this point?
Oh, yeah.
If he wants to.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
think
now-
he can one man army their crews by Wano easily. Like, come on, man.
Okay. But now, so here's the thing that makes it easier, right? No one in the East Blue has observation hockey. Look at this level of smoke. He just covered an entire fleet.
Yep.
No one has observation hockey. He is observation hockey.
GG.
So do we agree that he, by Wano, beats everyone, all their crews at least,
Oh, yeah.
separately? Okay. Do we agree that he beats all their crews together?
Like, every crew in one lump sum?
Yeah.
I think if there's any man who could do it, he'd do it. I think
Yeah,
he'd be like
okay.
that lonely type, it's like that lonely sniper in the tower that takes out like the whole fucking
Yeah, because even if he
battalion.
doesn't start there, because of the smoke screen, he's getting there, right? So how are they going to track him? They can't. No one has observation hockey. And even if they do catch him, he's going to start fights between the crews, right? Because of his ability to start fights between crews and things. So there's no reason to think that he can't. And I'm only showing one feat from post time skip, which is the smoke screen. We're not even talking about the plants supposedly can hold on avalanche.
The sleeping powder, all kinds of
We didn't get the sleeping powder. We didn't get to the water mushrooms. We didn't get to any of that shit. Yeah. So, just what I showed. Okay. So now, the big guy in the room, Smoker. I've seen the amount of speculation people give. They've given people conquerors. They think they have conquerors that they don't. They've given people hockey that hasn't been shown to hockey. They've speculated so much shit. Okay?
Well, I mean, look how long it took to confirm Sanji had hockey because of how his outfit was.
Right. All I ask, Mike, is you grant me one small speculation.
Oh, okay.
It's very small.
Let's see.
You don't even need to give it to me. It just makes it easier. Okay. So you know how like Usopp will take things from each island he goes to if he finds them useful. So like the dials and the plants and all that, right?
Mm-hmm. Except when it's the bubbles.
Okay, except for the bubbles, but you know my problem with that. But where was he just now? Wano, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, how did he keep prisoners?
See Prism Stone.
Sea prison stones. So why wouldn't Usopp grab those sea prison stones and make sea prison bullets out of them?
He's got no reason not to.
No reason not to.
He owns the guy that owns the island.
So I've seen the level of speculation people will do for their characters. This is in character. It's smart. It's effective. It's obvious.
All right. Now let's see you cook without the bullets.
Okay.
Just for the
He's
hard
already
speculators out there.
Sure. He's already dealt with people that can't be touched. He's done with the ghost lady. He's figured a solution out. And the thing was, is you'd say, okay, but he didn't exactly, it's not exactly the one-to-one because she's not a Logia. Okay. Counterpoint, she's 1,000,000 times stronger than Smoker. How do I know this? One, she tagged Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, Frankie in a second. Her attack speed is crazy. It's just on another level. And she has more people to try to help him. Try to help her, sorry. She's more people to try to help her with the fight. She had all those zombie people around. Now, we also know that Usopp don't take elemental disadvantages if he can help it. So he's not gonna get cornered. Smoker is all the way back at East Blue Luffy scaling. That's how slow this motherfucker is, okay? We've scaled way past this guy. So, all you need to do is give him one piece of an environment, okay? If there is no water and there's a ceiling, all Usopp has to do is fill that ceiling with water. How does he do that? In Wano, he's shown us that he has a plant that can just spit out water. Now, it gets burned up immediately because there's an inferno going on, but point being, there's no inferno going on with Smoker. He can fill up a canopy with water, douse Smoker. He can trap Smoker in a room that's airtight, fill it with water that way. Oh, you want to go in an open area? Okay. He's going to go on the water with his boat, and if Smoker ever decides to come in, he's just going to... That's it. He's going to blow up the water with his bombs, and Smoker's going to go into the water. That's it. Smoker ain't dodging that shit. Okay? And say you're like, I don't like any of this, Dave. All of this is so... It's so like, what if then the environment needs to be this way? What if Smoker just comes at Usopp, right? Well, I got news for you. Smoker is the only Logia user that has the balls to carry a weapon that is his destruction. This is Superman carrying kryptonite around him, okay? As I've shown before, Usopp has strength in his grip, strong enough for Zoro to attack unimpeded and not for him to drop the sword. That boy is going to... Smoker's going to come in. Usopp's going to see him moving in slow motion because he's way above Smoker. He's going to grab that sea stone baton out of Smoker's hand, and he's going to pin Smoker to the ground, and Smoker's dead. That's what's happening. That's the level of speed difference and grip difference we're dealing with between Smoker and Usopp. He carries his solution with him. I don't need to deal with him developing hockey. I don't need to deal with him like fighting in character and finding a way to deal with stuff he's never dealt with before.
What version of Usopp do you say can do that? Like, where's the level cap of Usopp? Just snatching the Sea Prism baton.
I mean, Ines Lobby, right? You think Smoker's dodging any sort of attacks from CP9?
Not at that time. No.
Right. He doesn't have any Gear 2 scaling at East Blue.
And
those, yeah.
And I can give Dave even more because there's one really easy way for Usopp to kill Smoker, because there's a little bit of a flaw built in Logia's. If Usopp wanted to, he could just snipe Smoker when he's like just chilling.
Now, okay, I know this, Mike, and I agree with you. But the thing is I know the people that watch this podcast that I'm responding to initially don't agree with this. So I just was kind of leaving that alone to the side. But we don't need that. We don't need it.
I just want everyone to remember that you can't outspeed Blitz and Logia because it's not auto activate. You have to choose to activate it.
Yeah, they don't agree with it. I just don't want to fight with them on that. But I will say this: if you want to be really petty, that's great. But if we want to be really petty about this, and you say, no, Smoker's not dumb enough. He wouldn't carry the Sea Stone Prism Stone to fight a non-Devil Fruit user. That'd be stupid. Smoker is stupid, but I just like Smoker a lot, by the way. But anyway, you know what Usopp's doing done?
My argument would be they already have some Sea Prism Stone because they had to keep Kaiser locked up, even before Wano, so...
That's a good point.
There's
that's
multiple
actually
avenues.
A really good point.
Yeah, there's multiple avenues for why he should have Sea Stone Prism. Yeah, that's true. But okay, we're going through this whole thing. They auto activates, they regenerates, whatever. We'll play along with the narrative game that they like to play with. Okay, so we'll do this. Fine. Guess what Smoker's never doing? He's never killing Usopp. Smoker does not have scaling that puts him above Oars in attack potency. He does not have scaling that puts him at that level. He doesn't have scaling that puts him at even CP9. He doesn't have scaling that puts him anywhere near any of these people. Okay.
Now, what stops him from using
Usopp can T-pose. Usopp can actually T-pose feet-wise, and he'll be fine. It'd be like Muhammad Ali. He let me beat me up, and then you'll get passed down. And then I'll say this: it's 2 other victory traditions, on top of all this other stuff. Okay. One, he can scare Smoker.
Yeah.
He can scare Smoker to death.
Yeah.
He's done it with Sugar.
I want to be a dick, like a real dick about this.
Mm-hmm.
As we know, Logias must be weak to their real life weaknesses. What's to stop Usopp from just making a giant wind dial and just blowing Smoker away in the wind?
This is tough because we've seen with Enel that he was able to channel through wood and things like that. So sometimes it is like that, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, I know. It's like where do we draw the line?
But logically, yes. But it doesn't even need that. But you want to know my even pettier answer than scaring him to death because he's done it to stronger people than Smoker.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
He's gonna starve that boy. Every time Smoker goes for a grape. Smoker's never eaten a damn thing for the next 2 weeks. Because Smoker ain't touching Usopp, baby. He's too fast. He's too clever. He's got too many tricks. I don't care if I can't touch you. You're not touching another bite of food until you die. That's what I'm doing. If you don't give me the water, if you don't give me the grabbing of the baton, if you don't give me the fact that you should have any of those other options I gave you, Smoker ain't even. Usopp the god of stamina. And if you're saying, oh, well, why can't Usopp die first? Guess what he carries with you, Mike? He carries plants. He carries food. In character. If we're talking about the long game, the grind game, that none of us leave this room until one leaves the other, Smoker ain't doing it. He ain't that guy. Not in East Blue.
Thunderdome style.
That's it. That's it. Smoker ain't doing it. Smoker gonna get tired out. He's gonna get tuckered out. Usopp gonna go to him and say, "Oh, poor little baby."
Yeah.
That's it. Now I want to end this. Okay. So, I don't like this argumentation. I'm gonna say this right now. I think it's bullshit. However, the One Piece community has gone wild with this argumentation. Okay. They say stuff like this. They say, "Hey, Crocodile must have gotten stronger. Why must he have gotten stronger? Because he had a giant bounty increase. So he's gotten stronger. He's had gotten stronger. Surely, right, guys? He's gotten stronger. 1 billion bounty." They say stuff like, oh, all the admirals must be comparable. Because when it came time to give them a bounty, they're all the same bounty. So one might be very well a lot stronger than the other, but they're all in the same ballpark, right? They're all eating at the same restaurant, okay? Oh, and we look at all the bounty systems, it always seems like the person that Zoro fights always seems to have a higher bounty than Usagi fights, the second and third commanders. They always seem to have this like bounty system. I've heard this for a long time, those past couple of months, okay? This bounty thing, they use it kind of like a pseudo powder level. Okay, Mike. Do you agree you've heard this before, this line of argumentation?
Yes, sadly.
Okay. Let me tell you a couple of fun facts. Do you remember Ace's bounty?
I do not.
500 million. Do you know how much... Okay, it wasn't in the series, but people asked how much the bounty of Enel would be if he had a bounty. And you know how much Oda said it would be?
How much?
500 million. And there might be a pattern here. We'll go for the third one. Do you remember what Luffy's bounty was after beating Doflamingo? That's a tough one, right?
I'm betting it was 500 million.
It is 500 million. Now, let me tell you a piece of trivia here. Just pretend you haven't heard the first three. What do you think Usopp's bounty is right now in Post Wano?
Probably 500 million.
It's 500 million. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here comparing Usopp to Wano and saying he can't clear easily all of East Blue bosses together?
He's cooking.
What are we doing? You think Enel can't take out the East Blue?
He's cooking.
You think Ace can't take out the East Blue? You think if Luffy, after the Doflamingo fight, went back, he'd struggle? I'd say, based off what he's done in his sleep, he might do it in his sleep. That's the kind of stat difference we're talking about here. Okay? And Usopp has got the same bounty as all of them.
I was about to say that too.
That's what we're looking at. And let me cap this whole thing off here. The narrative argument. Okay, people love their narrative argument. I see what they do. Okay, they really get out of pocket with this narrative argument. Okay, so let me just put this down.
2 + 2 is 4. -1, that's 3. Quick maths.
Mike, would you agree that Red Hair Shanks, his crew, the Red Heart Pirates, is the closest facsimile to the Red Heart Pirates of how they'll end up, the Straw Hats?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, right. Fun fact, did you know that it's been stated that when it comes to Shanks' crew, that they're the most evenly distributed power in their core crew among the Yonko?
Mm-hmm.
So that means Shanks versus Ben Beckman is a smaller gap than, say, Keen versus, Kaido and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means. So why in the actual hell is Usopp, who's definitely going to surpass his dad by the end of the series. Do I got to convince you of that? That's his narrative. He's going to surpass his dad. Yeah, yeah. So
You guys know your boy don't play
are-
with no pickles.
Are we really saying that Usopp's dad can just barely clear the East Blue right now? Like, it's tough. I mean, like, do it, because I got to tell you something right now. Usopp is probably the closest of surpassing anyone that they're trying to surpass right now. Okay. I think Usopp's dad, I agree this is speculation, but we're talking narrative argument, right? So if Usopp's dad can clear the East Blue, and let's say we give him like he's down to his last 10%. Oh, we really think that someone is even in the same room as Red Hair Shanks? Do you think if 10% of someone that's comparable to Red Hair Shanks is going to struggle with the East Blue? I don't think so. And I bet you Usopp is much stronger than Yasop's 10%. I think it's closer. We're getting really close. We're getting really close to the end of the series right now, okay? If Usopp ain't even 10% of his dad, if he ain't even 10% of his dad, what are we even doing? Okay? You think he's gonna? You think he has to get? You think he's done all this to grind 5% out of his dad? No. Also, the fight between Usopp and Luffy, the whole point of that, besides the like, hey, emotional like heartstring being thing, the whole thing was to show that Usopp had closed the gap between him and Luffy. Okay, I don't mean like he caught up completely, but I'm talking if you were to take when Luffy met Usopp on Spirit Village, say that Usopp got pissed at Luffy. He's mad, big boy mad, right? You think he's doing 1% of what he did to Luffy at Water 7? No. The whole point of that, narratively, was to show that Usopp, he had some stones. He's made some progress.
He's going the distance. You know?
He's going the distance, and he's pushing Luffy. Obviously, Luffy was never taking that fight fully serious, but I guarantee you, Arlong ain't doing any better. That's it. I've shown Feats. I've shown my interpretation of the narrative. And we went over the bounty system. Is there any way, by end of Wano, Usopp does not clear the East Blue minus Mihawk?
No. I think it's pretty clean cut.
Okay.